So in last class, we discussed about why we need to learn Python and versions of Python, how to install QPython into mobile. Now we go through of Python. The first we discuss about variable. So as an engineering student, everyone is having some knowledge on programming, and everyone know what is the use of variable also. So generally, we may say that variable is the name of the memory location. So which is used to store the data values. So generally, when you go with other programming languages, their memory allocation and everything is there. We need to work with data types and these all things, and you need to declare the variable also. But in Python, we no need to declare the variable, and we no need to mention which variable is going to use which type of data. For example, if you're having knowledge on C programming, so if I want to define a variable, so at the time of defining, we need to mention the data type also. For example, int C. If I say that int C, so int C means I'm mentioning the variable C, which is type of integer, So I'm saying that it can handle only integer type of data. But in Python, it is not. It is no need to define the data type. You no need to define any data type. So directly you can use the variable. Here in this example, here I'm saying that x equal to 5. So I didn't define any data type here. Simply I said x equal to 5. So automatically in Python, it will allocate the memory for x, and which is able to store the value 5. So you no need to define particular type of data. So based on the data storage, automatically x will be converted into that type. So now I said x equal to 5. If you want to say some x equal to hello, then automatically x will become a string variable. So if I said x equal to some 5.0, it automatically become a float type of data. So like that, the variable at the time of assigning the value, it will be converted into respective type. In another example, I said y equal to John. Here y equal to John means here y is string type. Y is a string type variable. So like that, we can define the variables. So based on your situation, based on your use, we can work with a variable. So, but when you go with other type of programming languages, there you you need to mention which type of variable and what type of data you are going to store, these all things. But here you no need to define. Why? Because it is using dynamic typing. Python is using dynamic typing. Dynamic typing means you can reassign the variable to different data types. If I said that x equal to 5, so in later you may say that x equal to hello also. So now I defined x equal to 5. In the next statement, it may be x equal to hello. So earlier it is having integer type of variables. Now it may having string type of data. So that is the advantage of dynamic typing. So Python is having that facility. So that is advantage of dynamic typing. And when you go for other type of languages, they are statically typed. Means if you want to work with either C or Java or else some other type of languages, these all are statically type. So statistically typed means you need to mention the type of data. Is it integer, or is it string, or is it float? Like that you need to mention. But in Python, you don't need to mention which type of information you are going to store. At the time of storing itself, it will assign the type to that particular variable. So like other programming languages, Python is also having some rules to define variable. So first rule is names cannot start with a number. So when you are defining a variable, the variable name should not start with a number. Means like 1a, 2a, like that. You can go with a1. If you are assigning the variable, you can go with a1, but not 1a. That is the first rule. And the next rule is there can be no spaces in the name. If you are defining a variable with combination of more than one word, then in that situation, you are not supposed to mention the gap between the variable name. So if you are having more than one word for a particular variable, we can go with underscore. Okay, we'll go with one example, then you can able to understand what is the thing. And next, it's considered best practice PEP 8 that names are lowercase. We're having PEP 8 is there. Python enhancement proposal is there. So in this document, what they're saying is variable names better you consider in lowercase only. So every variable name should be in lowercase. It is not compulsory. If you define, it is safe. And avoid the words using special meaning in Python. Means you are not supposed to use variable name as a special characters, special words, reserved words. For example, in C programming, printf is there. So like in Python, we are having print method. You are not supposed to use variable name as print. So, and we're having some if, while, for, these are the special keywords. So at the time of defining the variable, you are not supposed to use that type of special characters. So that is the rules for variable. So we go a small example how it becomes a dynamic typing, and we go with rules also. Okay. So for this, I'm using Anaconda. So Anaconda is one type of navigator, or else we call it as a tool. So with the help of that tool, we can work with Python commands. And maximum people are using their mobiles. So in morning session, we discussed how to install QPython. If you are installed, then you can practice. So every class you must and should practice. So it will take some time to initialize Anaconda. So if you are using laptop or desktop, so better you install Anaconda. So you can Google it and we can find the location. I think the maximum people are using their mobiles only. So that's why in morning class we discussed about how to install QPython. So if you install, then simply you open the console. In the morning class we discussed about the console. Just to open the console and you can practice it. So once you open Anaconda Navigator, here you will find Jupyter Notebook. So with the help of Jupyter Notebook, we can work with Python commands. So I think you people are able to see Jupyter Notebook. Just to click on launch. So this is Jupyter Notebook, and here right hand side we can find new. Here you go with Python Conda environment 3. So once you choose Python Anaconda 3, means it is using Python 3 version. It is using Python 3 version. So here we can observe Jupyter Notebook. This is Jupyter Notebook. With the help of this Jupyter Notebook, we can work Python statements. So if you are working with mobile, then you can go with QPython. Initially, there you can get 3 greater than symbols. That is a Python prompt. There also you can work with these things. So I said that Python is using dynamic typing. Means if I assign some x equal to 5, if I assign some x equal to 5, then automatically it will treat x is a variable of type integer 5. So once you type any command, then after that you need to click on execute, run the cell. So this button is there, just to click on that button. So x will become 5. If you want to see what is the x value, just to type print command, print of x. If I said print of x, then execute it, it will get the value. So I applied print command, and I got the value of x, that is 5. Again, if I say that x equal to hello, so for every command you need to click on execute, just run the cell, and then I am typing print x. If I type print x, if I execute it, now I got hello. So earlier x is 5, earlier x is 5, now x is hello. So automatically, based on the value which you provided, it will be converted. So if you want to find out which type of data is holding x now, then we are having type command, some type of x. So when I type of x, it will show the type of object. So now it is showing str, means string type of data it is having. String type of data it is having. For example, if I set some x equal to 5, and now if I type of x, it will show that int. It is showing int. So automatically the type will vary. So that is the advantage of Python, dynamic typing. So other languages, they don't have, only static typing only they have. And we said some rules are there to define the variable. The first rule it is saying that variable name not supposed to start with numeric data. For example, if I said that x1 equal to 4, it is okay, no problem. If I said 1x equal to 4, then we'll get error. So I'm getting the error like invalid syntax. I'm getting error invalid syntax. Why? Because 1x is not supposed to define. Every variable name start with alphabet, not with digit. And second thing is, if you are using more than one word, better you supposed to use underscore between the words. For example, student name, I want to define student name. So student space name equal to some Venu. So when I'm going to execute it, again I'm getting invalid syntax. Why? Because variable name is not supposed to go with, if the variable is having more than one word, you are not supposed to keep space between the words. Instead of space, you're supposed to use underscore. So if I use underscore, if I executed, then nothing is happened. It is executing, it is taking. So, and next one is what they're saying, the variable is not supposed to use keywords like if, for, print, like that. If I said that if equal to 12, so if equal to 12 means I thought that if is a variable, but it getting error. Why? Because if is a reserved word. If I mention IFF, nothing is happened. Why? Because IFF is not a reserved word. If is a reserved word, IFF is not a reserved word. So simply I didn't get any error. So these are the rules of variable declaration. So names cannot start with number. We saw with one example, and there can be no spaces in the name used. Instead of underscore, you can use. And it considered best practice. The names are lowercase. So Python will take uppercase variables also. So for example, if I set some y equal to 2, so nothing will happen. But if I set y equal to 5, so I'm having y equal to 2, y equal to 5. One is considered with capital letter, another is having lower letter. So first y is a capital letter, second y is lower letter. Okay, so we'll check it. For example, print of small y. I said print of small y. I'm getting 5. If I said print of capital Y, I'm getting 2. Means there is a difference between capital Y and small y. So both are different. But as per PEP 8, better you use variable names in lowercase letters. So it is not restricting to go with uppercase. You don't go with uppercase. You can go, but for practice purpose, for simplification, better you use lowercase only. Why? Because you may get some confusion. Here you observe that I'm having two y's. One is capital, another one is small letter. Both are different. Capital Y is having value 2, small y is having value 5. When I print small y, I'm getting 5. When I print capital Y, I'm getting 2. So the difference is there. That's why we are saying that PEP 8 means Python Enhancement Proposal. So Python Enhancement Proposal is a document. It is having some rules regarding Python. So what you are supposed to do and what not to do. Everything will be there in Python in PEP 8 documentation. So this is about variable defining. So simply we say that Python variables are dynamic typing. Python variables are dynamic typing. So what is meant by dynamic typing? It means you can reassign the variable to different data types. So if you want assign same variable for integer, you can assign. If you want assign same variable for another type, you can also assign. So irrespective of type, you can do. So, but whatever the latest value is there, that will take care. Okay, that is about variables. So some interview questions they may ask what is meant by PEP8 and what is meant by dynamic typing, like that. Next, built-in data types. So Python, you no need to so built-in data types. So I think it is having only 40 minutes time. So if time permits, if you said okay, then I will proceed. One more means you need to you will get two invitations. You will get two invitations from tomorrow onwards. So first one is the first half an hour, and second one is for second half an hour. So please try to log in as early as possible. So we are not supposed to waste the time. So built-in data types, like other programming languages, Python is also having built-in data types. These are, one is text type. For text type, we are having str, mean string, and numeric types we are having int, float, complex. So other languages they don't have complex type, but Python is having complex type. So you people know complex number, a plus ib format. So same. So when you're going to define complex type of data, directly you can define. So if you want to work same complex type of data in Java, you need to define a class. But here you don't need to define, and directly you can perform additions, multiplications, these all things. Just simply doing addition of some a plus b, a into b, like that. Next, sequence types are there. Sequence types. So sequence types are list, tuple, range. These comes under sequence types. Next, mapping type is there. It comes under dict, means dictionary. So mapping types are dictionary. Set types are there. So set, frozen set, maximum set will discuss. So maximum people are using set only. Boolean type comes bool. So generally, these types are having two types only. So we may call it as Python objects. These types also we call it as a Python objects. Python objects are two types. One is called mutable, another one is called unmutable. So mutable objects means there is a possibility to change type, to change it. So unmutable means you can't change. You can't change. That's only the difference. Mutable objects means there is a possibility to change the value, part of the value. Unmutable objects, we can't change it. For example, integer is unmutable. Numeric types are unmutable. So for example, if I define some x equal to 5, x equal to 5. So 5 is an object directly it will having. Again, we can so go with some x equal to 12. So 5 will be replaced with 12, but not will be added to 5 or no, subtracted with 5. Just it will go with another type. So that is unmutable. We will discuss later on with examples regarding unmutable types and mutable types. What are mutable, what are unmutable, and what's the difference between these two also we'll discuss. So if you want to get the type of object with the help of type function, we can get. Already we saw with example type of variable name. If you mention type of variable name, then we can get the type of the variable. For example, here I'm getting some x equal to 5. Means x is a variable which is having the integer type of data. So print type of x means it will print the type of the x. So type of x it will be int. Why? Because it is having integer type of data. So if I define some x equal to hello, then type of x will become str. Okay, so this is a use of type function. So if you want to know the type of the Python object, with the help of type function, we can define. So sometimes for interview questions, they will ask. So first we discuss about number type. So generally numbers are having three types: integer, float, and complex. So integer means directly integer value we can define. Float means float value. And complex, the complex number, it will be some a plus bj. For example, 3 plus 5j. Sometimes may called x plus yj. As usual, any type we can work. So we got small example on this one. So for example, x equal to 5 if I said, and y equal to 2, y equal to 3. So x, y, I'm having now x and y in my hand. Both are integer types. If you want to do any operations on these two, you can do directly. For example, x plus y. If I said x plus y, we'll get 8. 5 plus 3. X minus y, 2. X into y, 15. So like that, any operation we can do. Here, x by y. So generally, when you are going, when you work with x by y in C or Java, we'll get integer value. But in Python, we'll get float value as usual value. So x I'm having 5, y I'm having 3. 5 by 3 means we'll get 1.6667 like that. So suppose if you want to get only integer value, I don't want to go with the float, I want integer, then you suppose to use double slash symbol. So if you type double slash symbol, then you will get integer value 1. So it will omit the floating data. Okay, so this is about working with integer data. As usual, same we can go with the float also. And complex number. For example, some C1 equal to 3 plus 4j. If I said C1 equal to 3 plus 4j, C2 equal to 2 plus 2j. So now we are having two complex numbers. You can perform anything with the help of these two things. For example, like C1 plus C2 also we can do. C1 plus C2. Just execute it, you will get 5 plus 6j. So 3 plus 2, 5, 4 plus 2, 6. If I want to work with multiplication, C1 into C2. C1 into C2. So minus 2 plus 14j. I don't know the multiplication process. Already you people know how you are going to multiply two complex numbers. You will get this one. So every operation we can do. So division also. So float division you want, you can work with float division. But float division we don't have. Sorry, integer division we don't have. Only slash only will work. So this is about